All right. I know if you clicked on this video, before you give me a thumbs down, write me off, and give me a hard time about it, just hear me out. Just hear me out on this one. So we're gonna talk about why I think applying peat moss is a waste of time and money for overseed or renovation. Let's get into this video and talk about it. All right, so the first thing is it is messy. It is messy and it is hard to spread for the average homeowner. And I will say, if you are really into your lawn and doing renovations, I think the Landsy peat moss and compost spreader is an amazing tool. And if you are looking to invest in one, I think that is the route to go. But for the average homeowner, how many times are you going to use that a year? How many times are you going to use it even after you purchase it? So if you do your renovations properly and you're doing a full renovation on your lawn, okay, maybe I could see you want to go down with some peat moss. Okay, I can understand you doing that. But if your renovation comes in properly and you manage it well, will you ever need that peat moss spreader again? And then where do you store it all the other times of the year? That peat moss spreader is not small at all. So now you have to have the space to be able to store that, either in your garage, in a shed, or maybe you need to go get a storage building to be able to store it. Something to think about. This is one of the things that I am firm on. When you are doing a renovation or a overseeding, you need to dial in your irrigation. Water is the key to getting germination. And I feel like people use peat moss as a excuse or a substitute for dialing in their irrigation. If you do not have irrigation, I have discussed many ways that you can do a DIY system very inexpensively, and the benefit of setting up your irrigation and getting it dialed in and having a system of your own is when the summertime comes, now you can pull that exact same system out and water during the summer. Now you can keep your lawn watered throughout the entire year. You can fight off your drought, and then you can have a green lawn all year long. The next thing is using peat moss as an indicator for when you need to water. That is also true. That is true that you can use peat moss as an indicator for when you need to water. But if you dial your irrigation in, that part is already taken care of. And also, you can get that same indicator from the soil that you've planted your seed in. So if you're paying attention to the peat moss, you can easily pay attention to your soil and get the exact same indicator without having to put in that effort of spreading peat moss or purchasing peat moss. So the next thing we want to talk about is peat moss could be doing more harm than good. Let me explain. So if you are getting excessive rain, as I have since I've done my overseeding, or if your irrigation isn't dialed in and you're applying excessive water to your seed during this time period, you could now be harming your germination time period. So if you put out peat moss is gonna do what peat moss does, which is good for is holding moisture. So if you have excessive watering or excessive rainfall, now that peat moss is gonna hold all of that excessive water and moisture right around your seed. So we always say we want seed to be moist, not saturated and soupy. In addition to the impacts on your germination, you could also be adding a layering effect into your soil's profile. So I just saw a video from my man Vince over there at Rooted Lawn Co, and he was experiencing this exact same problem. So if you're putting down a thick layer of peat moss and then you're planning to come back and do some top dressing over time, you could now actually start to layer those different materials in your soil's profile, which could affect the overall health and development of your lawn. So if you do decide to go down with peat moss, make sure that you are not applying it too thick, and make sure that you are thinking about your materials that you're gonna be applying to your lawn in the future. There are only a few items that are needed for germination and for seed establishment. That is seed to soil contact, water, and sunlight. Those are the three things that are required for germination and to get seed establishment. I've done a number of full renovations to bare ground renovations and also overseeding. I have not used peat moss in any of those. I have used peat moss in small areas to test it out and kind of see how it would work, and to be able to compare bare ground versus having peat moss down, and the results that I got was not worth the time or the effort. And if you don't believe me, there was another video that I also saw just here recently by my good buddy Pete over there at GCI Turf Service. And y'all know Pete plants a lot of seed. He does a lot of lawn care, and I think it's some value in what he's been doing.
And I guess I could say the peat moss did, but I mean, when you look at the area without peat moss, the germination is just as good. So, yeah, who knows?
So that area that he did not have any peat moss on had as good germination and establishment of that early on seed than the areas that he actually covered with peat moss. This is very similar to the things that I have seen also. It is good to be able to have additional references when it comes to these type of things, and in my experience, that is what I have experienced. I'm not gonna be the one to sit here and say peat moss is terrible, you should never use peat moss, but my point is peat moss could be a waste of time and money for the average homeowner. So that's where I stand on this one. And if you're striving to have those immaculate lawns or gardens, just know we work.